The 11th shloka begins with a statement of Krishna, and for the next few verses Arjuna is silent. He listens to Krishna because a profound teaching is being communicated now. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Sri Bhagavan said, "Thou hast been mourning, sorrowing for those who should not be mourned for. Arjuna, your teachers Bhishma and Drona are not ordinary people. You did not mourn for them. They are so great in themselves. And you speak also words of wisdom, Arjuna. It is just like saying, you behave like a fool, though you speak like a wise man." Krishna tells Arjuna, the truly wise do not grieve either for the living or for the dead. This grief has no meaning. It is a sign of weakness. Then he says, the philosophy of the Upanishads comes in here. Man is essentially divine, immortal, deathless. It is not that I have never existed before, nor you, nor these kings, nor is it that we shall cease to exist in the future, because we have always been there. And a beautiful example Krishna takes to illustrate this truth. As our childhood, youth, and old age in this body, to the embodied soul, so also is the attaining of another body. Calm souls are not deluded thereat. So many stages of life, birth, growth, getting decrepit, old age, and death, it goes on. Then a new life begins. That's a very ancient teaching in the Upanishads and in later literature. Now comes a beautiful exhortation to Arjuna, a profound truth to all of us. Notions of heat and cold, of pain and pleasure are born, O son of Kunti, only of the contact of the senses with their sense objects. They have a beginning and an end. They are impermanent in their nature. Bear them patiently, O descendant of Bharata. Whenever the senses come in contact with the sense objects, sometimes they produce pain, some pleasure, sometimes cold, sometimes heat. They are always impermanent. They come and go. Therefore, the best thing is Tam Titikshasva Bharata. Bear with them, bear with them. That strength of endurance is essential in human life. Then, those calm people whom these things do not disturb, and their minds are calm in pain and pleasure, and who is able to achieve immortality because of that endurance. That is the way in which we have to say no to all the nonsense of daily life. We have to inure ourselves against all these chances and changes from the external world. Make the organism strong so that no microbes will invade the body. Microbes will be there, but if the organism is strong, nothing can disturb it. There is a basic teaching in the whole Gita. Similarly, a philosophical idea is expressed in verse 16. The unreal never is. The real never is not. Men possessed of the knowledge of truth fully know both these. If a thing doesn't exist, it doesn't exist. It cannot come to being tomorrow. But if a thing is truly there, nothing can destroy it. It is always there. You may miss it by your ignorance, but it is always there. Therefore, Krishna says to Arjuna in verse 17, know that truth which pervades the whole universe, that truth is indestructible. Behind the changing universe, there is a changeless reality. That is the pure self. That is the Atman. Just like in physics we say, behind the ever-born, ever-destroyed particles of the quantum physics, you will find the quantum field energy always present there. The infinite Atman is ever there. Things come and go. These bodies in which we inhabit, they have their birth, they have their death. See in verse 18. Of this indwelling self, the Atman, they were changeless, the indestructible, the illimitable. These physical bodies are said to have an end. These bodies have beginning and end. The Atman ever remains. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. Don't be confused with the notion, I kill, I am killed, etc., etc. He who thinks that he is the killer, he who thinks that he is the killed, neither of them know the truth, because the self does not kill, the self is not slain. This verse found a great appeal to the great Emerson of America in the last century. If the killer thinks he is killed and the killed think that he is killed, neither of them know the truth, says Emerson in that beautiful translation. This idea must be fully grasped by us. Ya enam veti hantaram yaschenam manyate hatam ubhautau na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate. This Atman does not kill anything. This Atman is not killed by anything. That's the nature of the self in man. Because na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah ajo nityas shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. This Atman is never born, never does it ever die. It is not that not having been, it has come into being, or according to another view, it is not that having been, it again ceases to be. This is unborn, eternal, changeless, ever itself. It is not killed when the body is killed. This verse occurs also in the Kathopanishad with a slight modification. Veda vinashinam nityam, says Krishna. Know that this Atman is indestructible, changeless, without birth, and immutable. How we see, O son of Pritha, to slay or cause another to slay? Shankaracharya in his commentary somewhere says that even God cannot kill the Atman, the self of man. It is indestructible. So, how are the changes to be explained? Changes are explained by a beautiful example given by verse 22. As a man casts off worn out garments and puts on others which are new, so this embodied soul casts off worn out bodies, enters into bodies that are new. The beautiful theory of reincarnation or rebirth is expressed here, just like changing clothes. Man remains, clothes come and go, bodies come and go, the self remains. In order to gain experiences, it takes new bodies, harvesting and sowing going on, till the man realizes his own infinite nature. This will continue till that realization. This self no weapon can cut, this self no fire can burn, this self no water can wet, and this self no wind can dry. This is another great utterance. Similarly, the self cannot be cut, nor burned, nor wetted, nor dried, changeless, all-pervading, unmoving, immovable. The self is eternal. This self is said to be unmanifested, unthinkable, and unchangeable. Therefore, knowing this to be such, thou oughtest not to experience grief, says Krishna. Similarly, he also goes on to tell, if you think that this self has constant birth and death, even in that case, O mighty armed Arjuna, thou oughtest not to mourn for this Atman, because of that which is born, death is certain. Of that which is dead, birth is certain. Over the unavoidable, therefore, thou oughtest not to grieve. Similarly, avyakta adini bhutani, vyakta madhyani bharata, avyakta nidhinanyeva, tatraka paridevana. All beings are unmanifested in the beginning, manifested in their middle, and unmanifested again in their end. Things are not going to be in between, they are there. What is there then to grieve about this situation, says Krishna? Then he says this Atman is a profound reality, so subtle. Very few really can understand the truth of this subtlest of reality known as the Atman. Some look upon the self as a great wonder, ascharyavat pashyati kaschidedam. Others speak of it as a wonder. Others again hear of it as a wonder. And still others, though hearing, do not really comprehend it at all. So subtle is this great truth. Sensory realities are easily understood. They are gross, but non-sensory realities are difficult to comprehend. Just like experiences like love, for example, is not easy to understand and not so easy to communicate as well. The subtlest reality is the infinite self of man. Therefore the shloka said, the verse said, Ascharyavat pashyati kaschadenam. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam. The one who lives in this body, the Dehi, is unkillable. None can destroy it. Always. Tasmat, therefore, sarvani bhutani natvam shojitum arhasi. You should not feel sorry for any being, because the Atman in man is eternal, immortal, and indestructible.